Also, what's up, beautiful souls? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mamina. You can call me Mina for short, or Divine Star Seed. This is a pick a card collaboration with the beautiful Mystic Star Magic. I will have her link to her video in the description, so make sure that you check hers out for more of the shadow work element, and mine's here is for more of the light work element. And we're going to dive into each of these piles. You have 3 to choose from. You can either base your choice on the back art or on the crystal and stones that you see here. Before you make your choice, I recommend that you close your eyes. Inhale slowly for the count of 3. Hold it for 3. And slowly release it for 4. This is the second time I've been moved to do like a different breath sequence than what I normally do, as far as like there being an added number. So take that number 334 and look it up, add it up to a single digit, and see what it can mean for you, what other messages it may hold for you, and that is for the collective as a whole. Without further ado, my loves, remember that this is a collective reading. Take what resonates for you, leave what doesn't, and I will see you at your chosen pile. All right, pile 1. You chose this crystal here. We're going to sit your crystal out the way. You guys are resonating as healers. That is a strong vibration here. And there are many different types of healers. We're going to dive into how this is your light work, how to apply it. You're probably doing it without realizing that you're doing it. And again, I recommend that you check out Mystic Star Magic to see what messages, as far as your shadow work may be concerned, that she chose. You may resonate with choosing the same pile number, or you might choose a different one. But the message will be like getting a full, well-rounded reading. Okay, we're tapping into you. We're ringing in your energy. All right, when it comes to light work, pile 1. What's this energy? What's this energy? Pile 1. We have the Emperor. We have the 9 of Swords. And we have the Queen of Swords. Okay. We're going to start off with these, my loves. Okay. The Emperor, 9 of Swords, Queen of Swords. One thing's for sure. You're a healer based on experience, my love. You've been through it. You've been through it. And that is why it's so easy for you to tap into these energies. You know what it's like to have people try to rule you or set you up in a certain structure and get you to maneuver in that structure, and you've had to break free of it many a time before. It's like over and over again you've had to break free. In doing so, though, each time you had a choice. You had the choice to choose to heal. You had the choice to just participate in the same manipulative game or be a puppet to it. And instead, you chose to seek more divine truth, more alignment, and that brought healing. So your light work probably involves a lot of talking. Now, some of you might find that interesting because there's this vibe here that some of you might have stuttered when you were younger. I get that group on occasion, like a group that resonates with stuttering or stumbling on words when nervous. Some of you might find that you don't do well in crowds, but throughout the years, if you really pay attention to how you communicate with people, it's not hard for you to sense when something's off in what they're saying. Not from the standpoint of they had to say something rude or that they have to necessarily be lying, but it's like you can kind of tell if somebody is speaking from a bruised ego or hurt feelings, a damaged heart. You're able to tell these things. So I wouldn't be shocked if you do some type of coaching work. Maybe you do some type of therapy, as far as like, jobs where you can incorporate a lot of your speaking technique. You heal with words. We have 9 of Swords here. You know what it's like to be afraid to be seen, or be afraid to have to stand out in a crowd. And again, this energy of like being made to fit a certain structure or be in a certain mold, and the suffocation of that. I feel like you know what it's like to suffocate. Now, a bit of a trigger warning here. Somebody might have dealt with like a near drowning experience, because I'm seeing water and I'm seeing someone 1 minute kind of struggle to get to the top of the water and then slowly slip back down under it a bit and then struggle to get to the top again. But you've learned how to breathe underwater, metaphorically here, in the sense that you know how to maneuver in situations where others would kind of be frozen or struggle, frozen. You know how to see, hear, listen. Your intuition comes through your intellect. You're not necessarily, and this is very specific, for many of you, you're not necessarily just codependent on communicating in words alone. There's a lot of telepathy energy within you. It's like you'll hear a person say one thing and then that voice will come in and whisper and go, well, what they're really feeling is, what's really going on here, so-and-so is hurt. And so that led them to do this action. It's like you get the play-by-play in bits and pieces, and you don't judge. Some of you do. You know, some of you with the Queen of Swords, sometimes you might find yourself judging first, and then you got to kind of humble yourself and remind yourself that you too once been there. You've been in that shoe of maybe being defensive, or maybe feeling like you have to be overprotective of yourself or others that you care about. So you try not to, I'm getting that sense of like you'll call a spade, but you try not to judge. You try to have more of an open mind, because that's how people heal. They don't heal by constantly sticking to what didn't work. They heal by paying attention and then learning and evolving from it. I'm getting this sense of like, shy away. No, don't look at me. Now you're standing more in confidence. So this is something that you can notice in yourself. You may have not tied these things into a part of light work energy. You might have just thought, oh, that's just me having confidence. That's just me having instincts. I'm just really good at picking up on like, people's feelings and whatnot. But really, it's a part of your light work energy. It's a part of the way that you heal the world. So don't be shocked if you end up in positions where a lot of times people ask you to speak, or if you chose to be a motivational speaker, a coach to a school, a life coach of some kind. You are good at speaking healing over people. It's very, very strong in your words. The truth matters to you. There is a bit of mindfulness that you need here with the level of truth that you look for. And what I mean by that is being mindful to not fall into searching for radical honesty. Anything that is radical can become toxic. It goes over the top. You end up wanting to dive into things that are best left where they are. Be mindful of that. But trust your natural intuitive instincts when you hear that voice telling you, this person said this, but they really feel that. And pay attention to what that voice is telling you that they feel. Your healing helps people emotionally. The inner workings of the Queen of Wands is the Queen of Cups. That's her inner mechanism. On the inside, she's far more compassionate, far more soft. She's able to use her discernment, but she still cares. She's that perfect balance in her divinity. So on the surface, you could seem very straight to the point, like, oh, so-and-so don't play games. They get straight down to it. But on the inside, you do calculate a bit. You do take a minute to process the feels of people. Okay? Some of you are gifted with the laying of hands. You're able to touch people and heal them. Be very mindful of this, because those of us that have the ability of touch, we lay our hands and then we absorb. And it's very important that you wash off that which you might have absorbed. Now, some of us, we've practiced this a minute, so we're a little more skilled to make sure that we're not taking anything on. You may not take things on in big measures. You might take them all in small doses. So let's say you give somebody a massage, right? Their shoulders are tense, you massage their shoulders. And at first you're cool, and then all of a sudden either your shoulders get tense or you get like a ache in your wrist that you've never had before. It's because you're transferring that energy out of them and you forgot to consciously transfer it out of you. So an old trick that my mother and the elders I grew up around would do is, after they would give somebody a massage or they would lay hands on someone for prayer or ritual, they would wash their hands in cold water, and they would wash the water away from them, with the intent that whatever was removed out of that person's body is taken out of their hands and it's washed away. it dissolves. It no longer exists, so it doesn't need a vessel to no longer store itself in. You're probably really good at seeing energy centers in people as well. You can look at them and tell if this part of you is hurting, it's because of this emotional block. And that emotional block is happening because you have a hard time communicating this. So Pile 1, your light work energy that's tied in to probably a lot of the negative experiences that you've had is you're able to know how to speak to people, to speak blessings over people. You know how to lay hands and heal people. Sometimes you do this on autopilot. Just be mindful to cleanse yourself. Wash things away from you. If you smudge your hands, smudge away from you. You're not trying to take on people's problems. You're trying to help them, maybe dissolve them. Okay, and with this Emperor energy, while you may know what it's like to have somebody kind of try to, hold you in a box or structure you, and you've learned how to be a leader yourself because you had to find your own voice. You had to go from this, I'm scared, I'm nervous, the anxieties, hide in the closet, I don't want to be seen in the light, it's drowning, I'm suffocating here, to being able to say, you know what? I'm actually strong, and I can see the strengths in other people. I can see how to bring out other people's strengths and do it in this really profound, nourishing way. Okay, let's get into some other decks here for you guys. Get some further clarification for this message. We're going to be using the Sacred Light Oracle. I think I said that right the first time. Been picking up on a lot of accents lately, so some of you could have an accent, like a very thick accent when you speak English. We have Tibetan Fire Serpent, seeking higher truth, discernment, a better path, authority. We have Temple of Secrets, secrecy, isolation, observance, ritual magic. See how them confirmations just flow through like that? And we have Angelic Realm, a team effort, clarity, validation, and patience. Listen, darling. You are the truth. Okay? You don't let things go to your head. You are able to, the great thing about a queen, a goddess, can admit what they are, but never see anyone as less than them. And on the off chance or by the chance somebody has a low frequency, they recognize that that's just what it is, a low frequency. Low frequencies can be cleared. Now, it may not be their job to clear for that person. This isn't telling you to go around and be like Captain Save-'em-all, but you're able to recognize. Some of you have found a way to be able to see divine truths and not, you don't hide from things. There's no point. You're not going to avoid a topic because, it's confrontational if it's something that needs to be discussed. But you're also not going to live in whatever irritations it may bring about. Some people can't talk politics because the moment they talk politics, they're frustrated, right? You can talk it and be honest about it and be like, but at the end of the day, I'm not carrying this with me. I see what it is. I see the problem. I know what I, in my personal life, am going to do about it and what I may or may not encourage others to do. But I'm not going to waste my everyday living miserable or living stressed out, because you know what that's like already. Right? You've learned how to tap into an inner flame within yourself, and it makes you seek higher truths. You no longer just settle for what some type of structure tries to tell you, but you are respectful. And what I mean by that is, when you come across sacred truths, when you come across spiritual connections from different cultures, many of you, you're not drawn to just one culture. You look in the Hindi, you look in the Muslim, you look in different places, and you see the pattern, you see the connection between them all. You don't see one is righter than the other. You don't look at things as religion, you look at them as spirit. And spirit doesn't lie to you. As long as you make sure that you use your discernment, that it's spirit you're hearing and not something manipulative and not something trying to pretend to be spirit when it's not. right? And that helps you to tap in and see beyond just the current, veil of things. I always say there are really no more veils, right? At this point, it's either people just aren't that aware yet, like they sense things, but they don't want to believe it, or they sense stuff and they don't know what to call it. And because they can't quite name it themselves, it's like, oh, I'm tripping. Others are just playing the fool. They're playing ignorance. At any given moment, you can walk out your house and portal hop all day, time jump all day. You're someone who recognizes that now. Okay? You're always seeking the truth and how the truth connects people, not how it divides, but you're able to appreciate the uniqueness of each one and you honor each one. I feel like if you were to visit some of the countries that, because I am picking up some of you, there's like countries that just call to you. If you were to visit them, you would honor their sacred places. You would go to them and you would honor that sacred practice or that sacred from a spiritual standpoint, not a religious standpoint. And that's going to be confusing for some people. But it makes sense to you. And when you speak, if you were to talk about your experiences, it heals people. So I wouldn't be shocked if you're someone that needs to write some type of memoir. Okay? We have a better path, authority. You're an authority in what you do. You knew what it was like to be controlled and ruled by another, and you said, I'm not going for that no more. Okay, I'm clearing that out of my system. I'm not going for it anymore. But I will be an authority in what I do. And that means that you really take time to master, comprehend, and execute the things that you need to. Real authority, real power has nothing to do about walking all over people. Okay, that's fake, that's weak. Real power, you're able to see your strengths and how divinely unique they are, and then recognize them in others. You have the capability of using your words to heal people's lives. So do not take that talent as just, oh, it's just like working, it's no big deal. Understand the power that it holds. With great power can come great responsibility. Okay? And then here, with this temple secrets, in order to discover the truths, in many cases, you must see the mysteries of things. A lot of times we can look at the Queen of Swords also holds Virgo energy. And Virgo is one of the earth goddess representations before they came up with just calling us the maiden, right? So we're able to analyze. And after we analyze, we're able to break down. It's like we're breaking down every little particle until we get to that thing that we need to get to. We unlock mysteries just by breathing, if you get my drift. It's not I'm speaking from a cosmic perspective right now. So think of any zodiacs mentioned, think of them as cosmic energy and not just a human trait. When we breathe, we analyze. When we think, and it's not necessarily always critical. It's just that secrets, knowledge, it's constantly funneling to you, right? You could be Virgo. You could be Aquarius. You could be Pisces. You could be Cancer. But this secrets tend to flow to you naturally. You could be Scorpio. You know what I mean? Scorpios take secrets and learn them and then keep quiet about them and, rattle them around for a minute and only release them if they really, really have to, if ever at all. But I feel like you're a treasure chest of truths. That's the best way to describe you right now. And there are certain rituals, magic rituals that help you. Like how I said, washing the hands with water. You might be doing something ritualistically, which really just means repetitive, and you don't even realize how it helps others or yourself. It's like you might be, you wake up one day and you just sage your house for no reason, or you put plants in a certain area of your room, and if you were to look up feng shui, come to find out you organically feng shuied your house without anybody ever teaching you what that was, because the knowledge is within. It's within, and you're observing this knowledge a lot of times in the dreamscape. That's why it was important to no longer be afraid, because once fear is instilled, it makes it hard for those who would naturally travel the dreamscape to do so, because they're always afraid. You don't need a drug or a pill to take you there. You just need to consciously admit that you want to go there and that you have no fear. Set your protection. You can enter in and out those spaces and realms. As a dream traveler myself, I'm telling you right now, you have a strong capability of that. Okay? We have angelic realms. This is one of the reasons that you can tap into the secret temples. And remember when I said you can go to places and gain the knowledge and you'll show respect, but it's more spiritual than religious? It's deeply spiritual, which are divine truths. I don't need to argue spirituality. Some might want to. Some make it a choice to. But it's pointless, because spirituality is going to always show you those connections. It's going to show you how people are linked, how fates and destinies are linked. This is what you look for. This is what you're curious about. This is your light work. And so it makes it easy for you to communicate with angelic realms. And do not be mistaken. Angelic realms are not limited to just say, oh, I talked to Saint Michael and Gabriel and Raphael and all of them. And that's beautiful. You could be talking to Apollo. You could be talking to Ra. You could be talking to, you understand what I'm saying? Angelic realm, while yes, there's a certain archetype assigned to the name, there are other versions of that. So I wouldn't be shocked if you're drawn to certain deities, and then you find yourself practicing certain things about those deities, but it's like almost subconscious. It's like you kind of, you know how people drive a car and they get to their destination, but they don't know how? That's kind of you when it comes to this work. I'm trying not to talk fast, but I feel like the energy is kind of coming in fast here. You're one, and with this Queen of Swords energy, you're someone who, as you find the truths, as you stand in your power with this Aries energy, the I am, the recognizing of interdimensional, the inner multiple dimensional being that you are, you're able to validate things. You don't maybe always need it, but you like it. It's like I always say, I like my confirmations in threes. I don't need them in threes. I don't always need them. I like them that way. It's a thing, right? That's kind of you. It's like, yeah, I picked up on this thing and it feels very true, and my intuition or my whatever hasn't steered me wrong since I've admitted inner truth to myself. But I would still like confirmation of XYZ. I feel like you have the power to say, okay, divine, source, God, what you resonate saying, here's what I'm asking for, here's what I need to see the truth about, or here's what I need help with. Can I have a confirmation? And then it's like you give a certain timeline, or you give a certain amount of characteristics, and it's like boom, 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 boom. It just happens. You probably freak friends and family out with that, because it's hard to lie to you. You know what I mean? It's like, I think surprising you for birthday parties would be a little difficult. They got to work extra hard. Okay. Let's get close. We're getting closer to closing out your message. Let's see what else here. For pile 1. We have great and full. It gives me Ace of Cups vibes. We have beautiful, and we have let it go. I feel like, again, this, for those of you who might be still, for some of you, it's like you're there and you're evolving in it, and maybe you just couldn't quite articulate or name what was going on with you. And for others, it's more so the process is starting with you. You know, like if you're watching this and you're like, yeah, but there's still some parts that you don't quite understand yet. You're not quite aligned with yet. For example, one of them with the letting go, right? Remember what I said about you can have a talk about almost any subject and be honest about it, and be open to hear all the sides and etc. But you just don't carry it with you all day. For some of you, you might sometimes carry things. And so you got to work on the letting go process. But for others, this is almost like paying homage to you being able to let go, receive messages, but not to be attached to them. I always tell you guys there's a difference between attachment and connection. Connection, constant, consistent. It's like what sews the tapestry together. Attachment is, I can't let it go. I can't let it go. Oh my God, if I let it go, everything's going to crumble. Everything's going to crumble. Some of you have to still study practicing attachment. Others here are mastering it. You understand the difference. You can be very connected, but unattached. Be in the world, but not of it. Okay? Your heart is opening up here. Your heart is opening up here more and more. But I feel like for some of you, you know when to turn the key and when not to. You know, like you've learned to not try to be so giving all the time to everyone that sometimes people have to earn. You know, some people, it's like their presence comes in and you can just tell this is a loving person. Like you ever meet elders that are just so dang sweet? like just, oh my gosh, I like that, like just want to hug them all the time kind of people. That kind of energy, that kind of vibration, you open your heart to very easily. But when it comes to others, because again of that past, you've learned how to nitpick, if you would. I don't want to say nitpick. It's more like, you know what? This is absolutely perfect. And I'm going to try to remember and post the link, maybe on this video if I'm moved to. But there was a TikTok video of this guy where he speaks about the heart and the lock, right? And how it's like a safe, and so many people want to break into it, and some people aren't going to have that sturdy of a lock on their safe, and so almost anybody could get through it with 3 moves or so. But then there are those who try to really calculate how to open you up, and then there's the master key holder, right? You're figuring out the difference between those who would try to just get to your heart just to get something they can gain from you and leave you without anything, take all the treasure, leave you barren, and the one or ones who are worthy at having the master key and being able to get to different, deeper levels of you because they've earned it, because they give you something of their own vibration and kind, if that makes sense, which further I feel clarifies this great and full energy. You've learned how to feel great and full on your own. So by the time you do make space to let others in, it just adds. Everything's just adding to this unlimited, bountiful void of bliss. Void isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. Having this endless, just imagine like an ocean that goes on forever, but it's tranquil, it's beautiful, it's peaceful. A garden that goes on forever, the sky that goes on forever. Like, you never doubt if the sun's going to come up, if the moon is going to rise in the night. You understand it. Hopefully this doesn't sound too all over the place for you guys, but this is how this is channeling. I pray it resonates for you and that it makes sense. I actually didn't expect your reading to be that long. Happens almost every time I think, oh, this one's gonna be pretty, boom, 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 and done. They're like, no, we got extras. I just said water that goes on forever, and you got water. Some of you could be a water sign. If you're not, because you do not have to be, however, those water signs will operate in your world. They do make up a part of how your energy flows with things, okay? Water is also the spirit realm, and it's also emotions. Water is also communication. And we have swords here as communication as well. All right, the number is 9841. Your psychic gifts and spiritual connection are being amplified right now. Use your power to navigate any confusing situations. I'm going to say that again. Your psychic gifts and spiritual connection are being amplified right now. Use your power to navigate any confusing situations. Confirmation upon confirmation upon confirmation. We have confidence. You can confidently express who you are and show the world your unique self. Be unapologetic with living in your true natural self-expression. You know when people need the key and when they don't. You know when to open your heart and when to close it. And you know when to let go of ties or situations that would wear you down. You know how to receive messages, hear them, absorb what you need, but not be attached. Okay? Why? Because you're limitless. The number here is 5230, and the number here is 5391. So 9 and 5 repeated here, 3 repeated here, and remember in the breath work earlier, 3 was there. All right, so 3s are of significance. The possibilities available to you are limitless. If you are open to them, no longer are you limited in what you want to or can do. And I would also say, because for some of you, you dealt with an issue of speaking your mind, and now that's done with. Pile 1, whew, Lord. My loves, that was your message. I pray that brought you some clarity. Pile 1, make sure that you check out Mystic Star Magic. You dive deeper into that shadow work right there. And without further ado, loves, peace, love, and light. Hey, Pile 2, what it do? Let's ring in your reading. If you're joining me from Mystic Star Magic's channel, welcome, welcome. If you haven't checked her out yet, you can get the other part of your reading from over there and see how everything aligns. We have the stone that you chose right here. We're going to dive right on into your message. You guys channeled into me as a group that's able to create something out of nothing. So we're gonna dive deeper into that. Creating something out of nothing. That is a huge part of your light work journey. That's a huge part of how you contribute to the world, to the collective. I feel like you're able to make the unobtainable attainable, the untangible tangible. I wouldn't be shocked if you resonate with like timeline jumping a lot, but on purpose, like purposely timeline jumping, not just waking up and going, what freaking timeline am I on right now? It's like you're always finding ways to end up on your best timeline. Okay. All right. Pile 2. Your light work energy. Let's get into it. Your light work energy. Let's get into it. Ooh. The Star card. The Two of Wands. Ooh, we're only going to take 3, Spirit. They're really trying it right now because they're trying to give me 4. Trying to give me 4. Well, we'll just go ahead and take the 4, Lord. Okay. All right, babies. Like I said, you are able to make the unobtainable attainable. That which seems completely intangible tangible. If you must create from scratch the perfect energy alignment, the perfect scenario to draw something into yourself, that's what you do. And you prepare for it. It's like a ritual. You prepare yourself for that which you ask to come in. You don't just ask for it and do nothing. The Star card is about healing, but the Star card is also about filtering. I filter out what I don't need so that I can bring in what I do need. Now, the Star card would also tie you into cosmic knowledge. So think of like the high priestess, but wanting to bring it down to earth, wanting to be the vessel that embodies it. You get what I'm trying to say? Like most of the time, the high priestess sits in her chair. She guards the portal. Every now and then she might go through the curtain on her own and just go in the other realms. I feel like you take things from other realms and you bring them into this one. So it's like, let's say you have a dream. Like literally, you sleep, you're having a dream of a divine calling. Something's calling to you and it's saying, hey, wake up, do this, or it gives you lotto numbers or something. You get up, you get in your meditation, you get in your role and go, okay, now how can I make this that I'm picking up on spiritually tangible now? How do I make it breathe? How do I make it exist? I'm watching this show. I use shows and animes to sometimes explain things on a very deep level. Go with it. I'm watching this anime where this girl wants to be a singer. And this guy, who's actually a real person in history, he was a tactician. He's reincarnated, or not reincarnated. He sort of like just comes back into life, so to speak. And he decides that her music, her singing moves him so much that he's going to use all of his tactician abilities in order to help her with her dream. Now, in one of the episodes, she has a small little stage to perform on, and there's a more popular band performing like literally just across from her. If you know anything about music shows, in actuality, you know people tend to gravitate towards the more popular band, and they'll kind of seldomly look at the new ones unless they're already kind of buzzed about or they get to hear them clearly. So what he did was he faked losing sound. He told the other band, like, oh, our equipment isn't working and blah, blah, blah. And this made the other band kind of not even take her as competition. Like, oh, you know, she's new, their equipment isn't working. So there's no need to try to really upstage this person or put much effort into it and etc. They put on their performance, they do whatever they do. Right when it gets near what's about to maybe be the end of their set or like midpoint of their set, he lets the sound work. And then she comes out with this like really blasting song, right? And all the people at the back of the crowd that was kind of just sitting there, because, sometimes people gravitate towards crowds, started hearing her and going over there, which made more people curious. And it was a situation that to most people would seem impossible. Like, you have this bigger, more popular band, you have this lesser known person over here. How is anyone going to come see her? Like, she ain't got that big of a following. No one knows who she is. He created a situation to make it possible. This is your capability. You might resonate within a past life being a tactician, but I feel like you're more connected with the ancient understanding of that. The further back you go in history, and you could be someone that loves history and mystic history especially, you will find that people who had these type of roles, especially, when they come from certain countries, they never separated the cosmos and the spiritual world from what they did in the physical. They simply understood what exists in spirit can be made real. The elements that are around us can be forged, can be harnessed. They're in our body already. We're living proof of energy harnessing. So why not apply it? It's almost like, I'm not going to say all of you resonate with alchemists, but it's giving me that vibe of like somebody who looks at how to make things real. But it's a little bit stronger than that even, because sometimes alchemists and kind of like their way of thinking is sometimes, how can we take two existing things to create a new thing, right? You're like, I don't need for it to exist. If it don't exist, I'll just make it. If it's not real, I'll make it real. If it's unbelievable, well, I'll make it believable by doing it. So you might resonate with people in history, with people in mystic teachings who found ways to make that which seems so far-fetched become tangible. But you do this for a higher purpose. You do this for a higher calling. It's not for clout. It's not for control, manipulation. It's because you feel guided and moved to do it. It's a part of your light mission here. And that says to me that you've been in situations in life where you've had to survive. Like, I have to survive. I got to get by day to day. And you had odds and odds and odds against you. You had to learn, people probably told you, you can't go down this road. You can't go over here. This isn't meant for you. Stay in your lane. You didn't have a lane. You're like, no one's told me what my lane is. You know what? You ain't got to tell me what my lane is. I'm just going to create it. I don't need to steal yours. I don't need to go in your yard, walk on your road. I can just make my own. That's what we just gonna do. We just gonna make our own. The world is my oyster. So you went from surviving to thriving. You see how that works? A lot of, in this image alone, while yes, it's the Two of Wands, you can see all of this sacral energy, all of this root chakra energy. You came out of just being in survival mode. You learned how to purge things and filter things out of yourself. I no longer need this. It's no good for me. I let it go. Let the river take it away. Okay, this is tangible. I'm going to make this real. I'm going to profit from this. I'm going to, It just comes to you so naturally. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles can sometimes get a bad rap from some people because they see him as, this king, they'll give to you, but only if there's something to gain. Well, depending on whether that king is operating from divinity or low vibrational energy will depend on how that translates. In your case, because you had to learn how to survive, what you realized was a lot of times when people are in survival mode, yes, they're like that. I'll scratch your back if you scratch my back. And a lot of times, even if you think for a second it's an equal exchange, it's really not. Somebody's always trying to have the chips in their favor. But when you thrive, when you're in the energy of thriving, you realize that the energy that you give out and the vibration you choose to give it, that's what's going to make you thrive. That's what's going to bring back the abundance times 10, times 10, times 10. And so that's what you focus on. I can give to this energy here, even if I'm not expecting anything from that resource, because this resource is going to link me to that resource, and that resource is where it's at. It's like, I don't know why music is channeling. Maybe you're in the music industry. Maybe something about music resonates to you, but it's kind of like, I don't need to work with this producer, but I talked with this producer, and this producer now kind of knows me, happened to mention me to this guy over here, and that's the person I got to get. That's the person that's going to help me out. You see the pattern of how things connect. You know how to manipulate energy, but you don't manipulate it to harm anyone or to control anyone. Remember, manipulation is a neutral word like energy. You get to decide how you use it. You know how to set the right circumstances for yourself and others. And that's how you help others, actually. I feel like people probably come to you for strategizing. Like, oh, I need help with this. I don't know what to do. You might resonate with being a tactician in another life. Knowing the secrets and knowing how to maneuver those secrets. Knowing how to unveil them in a way that's respectful, but at the same time powerful. And this is you being able to go from, I had to struggle and it's a dog eat dog world, to going, I created my own land. I created my own abundant space. And I know that a part of the way of keeping it abundant is I do have to, at times, give my resources. And give doesn't mean that you're not, that you're not charging people for a service or something like that. But you're doing that service because you understand that it's actually helping people. And then by them giving to you, you're able to expand. There's no greed here. There's no tit for tat here. It's like, I see value in everybody. I need the farmer because the farmer knows how to farm. They're going to keep the land good. Okay. And this person knows how to purify the water. And you see everybody's value. And that really helps people. I feel like you're really good at bringing individuals together. Whether they would have gotten along before or not, you're really good at bringing people together and showing them their unique power and how it works with others. So instead of people feeling like they have to conquer somebody or rule somebody, they can go, oh, I just need to be in line. I just need to be aligned with this energy. I don't need to fight it. This is Pal2, you're very dynamic. I don't know if you realize how dynamic you are. You may have to watch this more than once because the energy's got me talking kind of fast. I try to control that because I don't want to trip on words or anything like that. You might resonate a little bit with Pile 1 because I mentioned that there, like a tripping on words. Comment below your takeaways. What are you resonating with so far? It helps to affirm that energy, and sometimes it also helps to look at your own words, like a diary, right? Let's dive deeper into this creative energy that you have, this amazing energy that, yep, light body. Violet, fire, well-being. Definitely a lot of healing energy, a lot of tapping into the third eye and intuition. And when I say third eye, I'm talking about seeing beyond the scene. I get that some people are very I'm so technical and robotic, and they'll try to change what the frequencies of third eye and intuition can mean at its core. They get caught up in human definitions of things, modern human definitions of things at that. But when I say third eye, yes, the pineal gland is like a point that you can visualize and focus on and activate. It's definitely tied into it. But it's seeing beyond the beyond. And that's something that a tactician would need to do. That's something that a person who's good at making something out of nothing is good at doing. They can see it exists before it exists. You're damn good with visualization. We have light body. Independence brings comfort. Okay? And we also have ancestral healings and past restrictions. You have light body magic within you. You think it exists. That's all. It's that simple. Because you're going to feel it. The moment you think it, you're going to feel it. And then it's going to resonate from you. Light body is like God body. It resonates. It creates creator energy. We have transmutation, detoxification, psychic vision. Come on. Mic drop, please, because I said what I said. And I feel like you needed to hear it that way. Okay? This is incredible energy here. Look at all the purple. Look at how the purples fade. I always tell you guys, read the gradients. Look at how the purples are fading into pinkish tones and blue tones. Celestial energy. Into intuitive energy, taking all of those sources and making them physical by communicating them. It may not always be through words, though. It's through actions. I feel like in your past, you've been told that's not your lane. You shouldn't go down that street, blah, blah, blah. You say, okay. I'm hearing, y'all probably gonna laugh. Again, it's something with this group with music, but I'm hearing DJ Khaled, when he was on this show, like I think he was eating hot sauce, and he's like, they don't want to let you in the door. So you know what I did? I took the doors off the hinges, and then I took the hinges off. And they're never gonna be able to close the door on me again. While that's a powerful message, you did something completely different. You said, I'm gonna just create a whole new portal. A whole new portal on my own. I'm gonna just create my own land, my own empire, using, you know what I'm trying to say here? You get what, not in a way that I can't recognize everyone's uniqueness and allow people to help me where they're meant to, but I'm not going to sit here and try to mold to somebody else's idea of a damn road or a door that you can rebuy some hinges to and put back on there. No, if it's my portal and I can turn it on and off when I want to, I can make it real and unreal when I want to, I ain't got to stress about you. Okay? We have well-being. I'm going to say it again, going from surviving to thriving. We have self-preservation, service to spirit, youthful experiences. The youthfulness, you went through hardships in your youth, and for some of you, you're still technically in your youth, but think high school years, middle school years. For some of you, your 20s, you know your age. But the youthfulness that you stay tapped into, the joy, the excitement, the adventure, that's what makes this even easier for you. You're never meant to lose that. Someone here could be 35 and 36 because these are standing out to me as ages, but holding on to that 20-something vibration, not immaturity, just that I can do anything is possible. All things can exist onto me that I definitely invest my vision and my energy into. And so you're selective in what you invest your energy into. I mean, I could keep explaining, but to be honest with spirit, I feel like that would just be repetitive. Look at that, body and soul. I just heard mind, body, and soul. I feel like the reason music became a topic for you, some of you could maybe be singers, because the energy feels familiar to me, in the sense that sometimes when I get messages, I have to sing them or I have to say them. Sometimes things come to me in clarity through songs, right? You could be someone like that, or it's because music is the first language. I know that some people don't know that. It's not letters, it's not words, which is why, yes, writing things down can help a modern human. But honestly, vibration, harmonizing, which is why all mantras are said in rhythmic ways or in harmonizing ways. This is about frequency. You carry a certain harmony and frequency in your being. So I wouldn't be shocked if music translates well to you. I would be mindful to what type of music you're listening to. It's not saying that, look, if you're into some ratchet stuff and you want to listen to something ratchet on occasion, that's your business. But right now, I would say listen to things that align more with what you're trying to do on your journey. You could be someone that's good at songwriting or poetry type things. And maybe that's another way that you're meant to contribute to the collective. But don't just take music as, literally, it's like I'm in the music industry or something, or I know someone. No, it's the frequency, it's the language. Music is a universal language. Okay, it doesn't matter what tongue people may sing it in, because it is the first language. It was before people invented tongues. It was vibration, harmony, vibration, harmony. This is why babies cry a lot of times when they enter the world, or they move a certain way when you play certain music when they're in the belly. Okay? You know how to take the spirit and bring it into the body and soul. We have, oh Lord, you can't make it up. Look at that. And it's the lotus from the mud. From the mud. You are magical. You are the source. You have a source of magic. You don't need to question it. You need to be mindful of how you might use it. Always be mindful of how you use it. These flowers, look at this energy here. It's forming a shape of a body right now. It's forming a shape of a body. You know how to take your magic and give it shape, give it structure, let it burst free, let it exist. You might have come from hardship times, and if you still find yourself feeling like you're in hardship times, this is your sign to come up out of that energy. Come up out of survival mode and be in thriving mode. Let's get one more card for you. We're going to go to one more deck and we're going to call it for you, Pal 2. I'm done. I'm done. Sound the alarm. I'm done. There's nothing more I can say to you right now. And your life path number, like mine's, might be 9 because we have 27 here. And I saw a 9 in my head when I looked at it, and I had to look again to make sure it said 2 and 7. So your life path number may also be 9. We have a hummingbird here. We got Grand Symphony. Listen. One more deck. What's that Grand Symphony that you play? It's love. It's why you're so successful. It's why you will be so successful. Love is the highest vibration, the highest frequency. We have rest. And we have karma. A lot of y'all got a lot of good karma coming on the way. Fair warning to those of you who might still be rocking on the edge of crazy from a time to time, on doing wild, outlandish things from time to time. Get yourself in alignment, okay? Because the go around is coming. Some of you need to hear it that way. We have 505, which is the 10. What did I tell you? 10 upon 10 upon 10 upon 10, right? We have it's time to rest and relax. The time you need to recharge is here now. Hectic energies will be slowing you down, but what I'm hearing is hectic energies can slow you down. So that's why you got to be mindful what you're listening to and mindful with what you're indulging in right now, okay? Because you don't want to take negative energy and make it become a reality for you. Remember, that's a part of your power, part of your light energy. With the karma, we have 4422. Come on, 4422. Listen, what goes around comes around. You receive good karma for past actions and good deeds done from the kindness of your heart. So keep that heart kind. Don't let nobody make your heart harden. Just because you had to create your own portal, just because you wanted to create your own land of richness, doesn't mean that you don't create space for those who deserve to be there, or that you waste your time on those who don't deserve the time. Okay? Because what? Love is the highest vibration. It is the enlightenment. All creation is created out of love. Everything is intertwined through love. Point blank in the period. It's how we literally get everything else on the energy vibrational pole. Okay? You will be experiencing and feeling more love and support from your friends, family, acquaintance, even animals. Animals love you already, for many of you. Some of you probably have like an issue with a cat. like that cat don't like me. That cat. I just heard someone say that cat don't like me. Let that go. Okay? Cats can be ornery from time to time. And this is 143. We have 4s repeating multiple times. We have 5s repeating and 2s repeating. Okay, listen. Whew. Pal 2. You might have to listen back to this a couple of times, but I pray that this message resonated for you. It gave you the clarity that you needed. Make sure that you guys check out Mystic Star Magic to get the other part of your message. Comment below your takeaways. Much love. Peace, love, and light to you. Pile 3. What up, baby? Let's get right on into your message. Make sure that you guys are checking out Mystic Star Magic's reading as well, so that you can get the full download here on your message. We're going to tap into your light work here, your light magic. What's going on? Pile 3. You're interesting. You all were interesting, to be quite honest. Of course, as always, you may resonate with checking one of the other decks. I feel like you're the magician. You're able at seeing how things work together, but from the perspective of how to create something totally new. It's very alchemic energy, mad scientist energy without the mad part. Well, at least not world domination mad. Sometimes you might feel a little, crazy because of how stuff comes in your head. It's like, oh my gosh. It's like, I always say this about myself. It's like I have an unlimited amount of tabs open, and somehow my brain still knows how to pluck the ones I need. But on occasion, I can still hear the chatter in the background of the other tabs. It's kind of like that. If you know, you know. Let's tap on into your message and see what's going on here. Okay? What's going on here? I feel like you know how to create a life of luxury for yourself. If you haven't done it yet, that's because of procrastination. Some doubt and procrastination. Because you got what you need. I'm hearing, I got what you need. What you need. That's the song I'm hearing for y'all. All right. Let's get to your message. Oh. They said out the gate. Look at that. Ace of Cups. Out the gate. They said, say less, Mina. The guys was like, Mina, say less. We got this. Out the gate. We're going to show them exactly what you're talking about. Out the gate. We got the Strength card, child. And we got the Six of Pentacles. What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you? You guys got the... I'm hearing, I got the power. I got what you need and I got the power. Okay? With the Ace of Cups here. Very psychically in tune. Now, some of you might have a hard time admitting that to yourself. So you might try to use different phrases and words. That ain't none of my business. I can only tell you what I'm channeling. And what I'm channeling is you're very psychically in tune. You do have to use more discernment though. But when you invest feeling in something and you are pure, honest, and authentic with what you're communicating, meaning not only authenticity, not only discernment, but you pay attention to what you're feeling and you make sure that it aligns. When you do that, what it is that you try to manifest just starts to overflow. It comes out of nowhere. I'm feeling like many of you would probably have stories of how you were minding your business and a blessing just fell in your lap. You have no idea how it happened. Like, I was walking down the street and found a $100 bill. I have no idea where it came from. But you probably was thinking something throughout the day of wanting to manifest it. I would recommend that you practice prosperity rituals. Get into, and this can start off with just speaking prosperity over yourself. I would definitely advise, because some of you do this, and I got to check you. Stop speaking negative things over yourself. Stop saying I can't, I don't know. Get rid of I don't know. My clients will tell you when they say I don't know. The pet peeve that it starts. Yeah, because you are literally speaking I don't know into your existence when you know good and gosh darn well that you know. Most of the things that you say I don't know to, you know. So stop doing it. Okay? Stop it. You will get rich. I've told a few clients before, and one actually did it. They know who they are. You're going to have to add some money to your savings or a little thing or whatever. And they did it to their savings. Like, every time they said, I don't know, they would open up their app and like put some coin in the savings. Yeah, that ish added up over time. And first of all, it saved them a lot of money. Second of all, it showed them just how much they were speaking I don't know into their situation when they have the full capacity in the mind to know. All right. This is important for somebody here. Maybe you're one of my clients coming back again and you needed the reminder. Okay. But it had to be said. But also get rid of I can't. Also get rid of it won't happen. It won't work. Look, if something doesn't go according to plan, that's because there's a redirection in a better way. Rejection is divine protection. Accept that redirection. Maybe it's just that there's a key element missing. So pay attention to what that key element is so that you know how to apply it later. But when I tell you there's an overjoy and overflow of new beginnings in a harmonious, tranquil way that is birthing itself out of you into existence, it's happening. Like, as I'm saying it, it's happening. By the time you see this, for some of you, it's happening. For more, it's happening. You just have to allow yourself to realize it. Most of the things that keep us from achieving a goal is our lack of realizing. Okay? How does this apply to your light work? You are very in tune with people's feelings, or you're learning to be. Some of you may not be as in tune because, again, I got that like mad scientist vibe. And sometimes there are people who can feel very like kind of disconnected. They have to learn the difference between disconnection and detachment. But for some of you, you're really good at like getting an understanding of someone's feelings and helping them translate things. Not so much just so with words, but it's kind of like a chemist almost. It's like, okay, this component would make sense with that component to create this. And they kind of just stare at you like, how did you even figure that out? But that's how your mind works. That's your I feel like your mind and your emotions are perfectly aligned on some occasions. So for those of you where it's a little wonky, it's what you need to practice. But it's how you contribute to the collective. Do you understand how many like issues in the world could be solved if people just understood that these two things make sense together anyway, so there's no point in arguing? If they could just see how that works, I think you know how to make like impossible formulas. This may not necessarily mean that you actually are like a chemist and you deal with different formulas and chemicals and stuff, though could be. But it feels more like when it comes to situations, you're better at translating what's necessary. But the translation is always to create something new. So you're really good at making new things. It's very magician, very alchemist-like. Okay, how to transmute, transmit, make it new, make it more powerful. We have strength here. This is a strong energy within you. You need a little more confidence in it for a lot of y'all though. But I also feel like as far as how did you get to this point, how did you gain this capability? Well, I would say most of you already had it. You did it as a child too. It's like you would look at puzzles and, blocks like Legos. Like I'm seeing a kid looking really bored at some Legos, and while everybody is following what's on the box, you make some other stuff. Like I'll give you an example of something I did when I was a kid. We had this Lego thing that showed you how to make, like, I think it was a little basic like bridge. I made a tree. I was like, I feel like making a tree. I made a tree. That's like you can look at something that you were told it's only supposed to exist this one way, and you go, really? I don't like it that way. I think I'm gonna do something else. And maybe people doubted you, like, yeah, okay, whatever. Then you ended up making it something else and you made it happen. I tell you how to flip a dollar. Like, I'm better. That's a Missy song. So that's like you. Another day, another chance. You know what I mean? Like, another day, another chance for me to figure it out and figure out how to flip this the way I need to. But I'm not getting necessarily hustle energy, though some of you might have had to do, hey, look, it's your life story. You know your life story. But it's learning how to apply that in a more aligned way, in a more authentic, truthful way for those who may have not done it so truthfully. Okay, we have 6 of Pentacles, the exchange. That's how you're able to know how things can work so well together. It's like you're an architect almost. Some of you might resonate with being an architect. You might resonate with like having visions of how you just see things coming together, and almost like a transformer going from being a car to the transformer and then back again. Like that thing that fascinates you. That's your mind. I hope this is making sense. Like, I wish I could just project in your head what I'm seeing. I'm hoping that the description of what I'm channeling is making sense, but it's like your mind's a transformer and it transforms, and you like paying attention to every little gear and every little piece that aligns and comes into perfect synchronicity, and then it creates a whole new thing. Like, oh snap, I didn't know. Oh, that's cool, I want to make another one. Very adventurous energy. You probably resonate with studying alchemy and symbols. Like, symbols probably fascinate you. Crossword puzzles are awesome to you. But when you look at the crossword puzzle, this is a beautiful example. When you look at a crossword puzzle, take it as an analogy if you must. Yeah, you could see the words that you're supposed to look for, but you're going to see a bunch of words that weren't even on the list to find. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? You know where to look. So I'm getting like a seeker energy from you. I'm getting an alchemist energy from you. I'm getting, you go to them when you want 2 things to make sense, when you want 2 things to communicate energetically to create something new. Okay? Whew, Lord. This energy. You may resonate with one of the other piles. Every pile is cleansed and clear. Let me ring the bell again. I think I rung your bell before I pressed record. I don't know. But Angelic Realm is out here, and Angelic Realm came out in one of the other readings before. Okay? High level communication. Clarity. A team effort. Validation. Patience. I think some of you need to work on your patience, but others, you're really good at being patient when it's to see how things are going to come together. You communicate with a higher sense of knowledge, more angelic celestial energy. You may resonate with celestial energy. We have crossing the rainbow bridge. Listen, coming full circle. I'm reading the ones that stand out to me for you. Look at this. And look at all of this silver and like a silver white light that we have going on here. This is like crown chakra energy. Harnessing from the crown chakra. The crown chakra, it's above you. We have points that exist in the body, and then we have points that exist on the outside of the body in all directions. Your crown chakra, and this is how everyone's crown chakra works. Think of it like a ball that hovers above the head. It's way up there in the cosmos, and it's like you create that light tunnel that goes from that crown chakra to the crown of your head, right down through the rest of your system, and it just aligns everything, purifies everything, and then the gears in your mind starts to turn. That transformer energy. Like, oh, I found out how to make a new thing. There's a show on Netflix that I absolutely love. It's a Korean show about a lawyer with autism, and every time she figures something out, she sees like whales and dolphins, depending on how big the thing is she figures out. Sometimes she'll see like a big whale jumping out the water and landing back in. I really feel like some of you have like a tick like that. Like when an idea comes to you, when you figured out how something can fuse together and become new, it may not be a whale, but it could be like something pops up in your visual, and that's your eureka moment. That's your aha. So visions, the gift of, again, like a seer energy, a sight energy as well. Spirit guides. I feel like mic dropping again. Because, and once again, look at the colors, look at the yin and yang, and it even says look for signs. Like it literally says look for signs. Supervision. But I'm hearing it like supervision, like this person has supervision abilities. Okay? When you close your eyes, you see things. You see how stuff comes together. You may resonate with feng shui energy. You may resonate with looking at the stars, not like Western astrology, older. Western astrology holds certain levels of truth to it. It's not without it, which is why we can use it and why we channel it. There's no need to argue or debate it. But there's older, something that you could say is a little lost in translation at times. Okay? I don't have time to really dive into it, but for those of you who know, you would get what I mean. You channel things that are far older. You channel an understanding of the stars that are far older. Those of us who resonate with being star beings, we resonate with that energy like home. Not just, oh, some stuff happened in the cosmos and that was it. You see what I'm saying? That's why when I read zodiacs to y'all, I say look at it as a cosmic energy, not just a personality trait. If you look at it as a personality trait, you lose something in translation. You have to see how that energy maneuvers in your life. You ain't got to be a Capricorn, but how is the Capricorn energy applying to you as a cosmic vibration? If you understood that, you can maneuver through it far better to your advantage, regardless of if something tells you that these two signs don't get along. You see what I'm saying? And right now, you've got a lot of psychic awareness here. That's more and more as you act upon it, as you let that power flow through you and transforming you, because we have that snake here wrapping around the two hands, the two energies communicate and become more and more tangible, real things, but it's like an all new real thing. It's like making a building from scratch, being able to see the blueprint before the blueprint exists. And, you know, people might have told you when you were younger that like your imagination was, you know, too grand. Oh, those two things wouldn't work. I wouldn't be shocked or mad if you were a chef. I'm always comparing things to food, and I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't be shocked if you were a chef and you're one of those like fusion chefs. And like traditional eating people can look at you and go, oh, what? But when they eat it, it's like, oh, yeah, you didn't know these two things could get down like that, did you? I keep hearing that I'm better. But it's not like I'm better than someone else. It's like every day I get better. Another chance I want to dance. I'm better. Okay, we have shiny thoughts. There, look, what did I tell you about the crown energy? What did I tell you? Run it back, rewind if you must. Call of a muse. It just gets better and a wish upon a star. And I said celestial energies earlier. The other group that got the angelic realm, that angelic feeling resonated a lot with it. I feel for you, the celestial, like star being type energy resonates more. But you're still very much connected to the non-physical planes. When we say star beings, while some of those planes aren't physical, many of them are. Okay? They have shape, features, just like everybody else, but they're on a higher frequency. It's like you're elevating to this point of higher frequency. The energy channels from your crown. It shoots through the ether, through the cosmos, blah, 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 right into the crown of your head. You probably actually get like a warm sensation or a cooling sensation right at the top of your head. And again, there's some type of visual for some of y'all that you see whenever like a eureka moment happens. All right, let's close off your reading. Get some last messages for y'all. We have adventurers. Boredom is out the door. You will have many exciting new experiences to partake in and enjoy soon. 9818. I mean, it makes sense with the way the gears in your mind turns. Okay, let's see what else fell out there. Pathway. 991. Nines are popping up in your message. We have the way forward will be shown to you. This will open up any blocked pathways and release any stagnant circumstances. Okay. And we have 1159. You will conquer any difficulties or challenges that you have been experiencing. You will meet the light at the end of the tunnel. And look at all this purple. Look at all the, it's literally purple, 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 straight on through. Straight on through. You have this ability to see in such an interesting way. Like your gift of sight, the seer energy is very strong in you, but also this alchemic, how can I make what I see fuse with something else so it can become physical, more real, but in like a complete different way. I just keep getting this like somebody taking like little jars of like chemicals and like mixing them in a pot and like stirring it. I have another tarot deck with a character like that where it's like a young girl and she's in a science gear and she's got the goggles on and she's like mixing all of this stuff in the pot in the magician card. You are a magician for all purposes. You are an alchemist. You see how things can fuse together. You know how to take stuff that's around you, even if it looks like scraps, and make it into something dope. Sometimes you need to see it. That's the thing. Sometimes you're a little codependent on maybe having to see it, like, you know, how this tree can be seen, how this thing back here can be seen, the card stage. And then you think, well, how can I put that together where it makes sense? I wouldn't be shocked if you're also into interior decorating, and you might, that's a beautiful light work talent. You could be someone that helps people decorate their space, but to like feng shui it, to open it where energy can come in. Not just, oh, put this in this direction, that's it, but like how to let their soul light reflect in their space, in their room. And most people go, this color is going to clash with that color, but you see how it makes sense. This dish is going to clash with this dish, but you know how it fuses together. I don't know any other way to say it. POW 3. Baby, that was your message. I pray it resonated for you and that you gained the clarity you need. Please check out Mystic. Check out her reading. Make sure that you tap in, get that full message. If you're coming from her to me, I appreciate you. Hope you subscribe. Comment below your takeaways. Peace, love, and light, beautiful soul.
Get your copy of Love Confession Cyber Edition. Link in bio.